All right, what's going on, guys? Who's ready for a little bit more Brennan McKeon? So we are in Plantanillo. Where are we?
Plantanillo, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica 2.0. And we're at Eco Oasis. This is one of Brennan McKeon's projects, and this is basically like a turnkey permaculture neighborhood. Brennan's in here. Let's go check this place out.
Thanks for joining us again today here with Green Dreams, Florida, having fun, continuing the Costa Rica Adventure Permaculture Tour. So really excited to show you guys. Today we're at another one of my projects called Eco Oasis, and the concept here is something that we're really super excited about. It's something we've been developing through our permaculture work, and also exploring the idea around community, exploring the idea around what are people looking for to make the transition from the grind, from living in the US day to day. You know, could be people that are retiring, could be people that just want to change a pace, people that want to grow their own food. But we've just been exploring what does that transition look like? And how do we create a model where people get that feeling of community that they're looking for, and also get the permaculture, and also have, you know, a sense of luxurious living, let's call it. Because it seems like a lot of people moving to Costa Rica, that's what they're looking for. And born from that investigation over many, many years of seeing what's worked, what hasn't, observing other people that were doing developments, other intentional communities, we came up with this concept. We're calling it Regenerative Neighborhoods. And the idea is we're creating turnkey, basically everything's done because, you know, we have a lot of years of experience with this, and moving to a foreign country is enough in itself. And so we're taking all the guesswork and all the challenge and all the problems out of that for people, and creating turnkey permaculture systems. Basically, to give you a quick overview, this is a small development of 5 homesteads. Each homestead is independently owned and titled, and so there's no homeowners association, there's no ties necessarily between the neighbors, other than a common sense of people that want to live in this type of environment, right? So people with common goals and common ideas, putting them together in the same neighborhood and giving them the opportunity to have organic growth happen and to create relationships, micro businesses, whatever's going to come out of this, right? So we have 5 homesteads here. Each homestead's about 2.5 acres, and we pretty much stack them completely full with full permaculture. So this lot we're standing on right now, just over here to our right, we're going to go on a little tour here, but we have about 1 acre of densely planted food forest. Right behind me here we have some of the super close zone 1 homestead systems, which includes fish pond, chicken coop, greenhouse garden, outdoor contour staple crop gardens. We have perennial edible landscaping planted all around the house. Over here to my left, there was a existing forested area, and so we wanted to augment that and bring that a little bit closer into the homestead. So we planted, this is all reforestation on this hillside over here. Then of course we go in and we do ornamental landscaping, lots of flowers to attract the beneficials, tons of erosion control, vetiver along the roads, so that's the basic concept. And then we throw that in with a really sweet, small, eco-efficient house. Small meaning plenty of space for what we deemed what the most clients that are coming to Costa Rica are looking for: 3-bedroom, 2-bath, about 1,700–1,800 square feet under roof. But really tricking them out super nice so that people feel like they can still have that luxurious tropical lifestyle that they're looking for, but in a permaculture lifestyle. So let's go check it out. All right, so we're standing here in our Zone 1 immediate permaculture homestead system zone. We're standing right next to our fish pond and really small aquaculture system here. We don't have gravity flow water on this property, so this is just being run with an aeration pump system. Works great, the fish are thriving. Mostly we have tilapia in here, but we also do freshwater lobster, freshwater shrimp, freshwater clams, whole different, bunch of varieties of different aquaculture creatures. And so each homestead comes with a little system, way more than enough area here to produce weekly fish for one family without any issues. And then all surrounding the zone, we kind of just have a bunch of perennial edible landscaping going. We got a whole big section of pineapples here. Those will self-sustain themselves forever starting from here. Pineapples produce for about 2 years per plant, and then they put off a bunch of babies, and you just put those babies right back in. So that system will be a lifetime system for the residents here. Just looking from where we're standing right here, we got chaya, we got cranberry hibiscus, we got katuk, we got papayas lining the whole outer zone here of this pond system. Right over here is our chicken coop, and the chicken coop is backed up right against our food forest. So the food forest, we kind of split into 2 paddocks for the chickens, and the chicken coop has 2 doors on it. So all you do is open one of the doors for like a week at a time each morning. The chickens will free range in that side of the food forest. Next week you switch, open the other side of the chicken coop door, and then they free range into the other area, just to give a little more, if you keep chickens in the same area all the time, they can start to do a little destruction on the earth. So moving them around is a great idea. We have that system set up for that. Back over here, a little closer to the house, we have the what we call greenhouses down here in Costa Rica. And really a greenhouse down here is just a polycarbonate roof. And that's basically to protect from the hard rains, the sun, during the summer we can put some shade cloth on there. So we have the greenhouse for home production of veggies, delicate stuff. And then all around that we have what we call our contour staple food gardens. We lay those systems out on contour. We plant vetiver within that system on one side of the trail and our garden bed on the other side. So what you can do is just walk down your trail, chop and drop. You chop your vetiver on one side, use it for mulch on your garden bed. If you guys don't, I'm sure a lot of you do, but if you don't know what swales are basically ditches, but specifically laid out on contour. And the concept of those is to catch, slow, and sink water into the ground, right? So it slows the water down, slows down erosion, sinks the water into the ground, and holds that water to distribute it throughout the year. So we catch a lot of water during the rainy season, and then our summer months we still have a lot of groundwater to help with our plants. So in our contour garden we have swales. Out here in our food forest we have contour swales throughout the system. Yeah, so this is our primary little home permaculture zone. Let's go take a walk maybe around the house to show you guys what that looks like. All right, we're standing here under the greenhouse. We got a little rain coming in, but I just wanted to point out our food forest system, which is here behind me. As I mentioned, it's about 1 acre of food forest, and we plan our food forest system super dense. And one of the reasons for that is to slow down weed growth and also just to create as much biomass as we can. Tropical soils in general is not the greatest soil in the world. And so the more biomass and the more plant mass we can put in there, the better. Just to give you a super quick snapshot of the system, we plant double hedgerows about every 12 meters. Generally we use vetiver clumping grass, which is what this is right behind me. Great for slowing down erosion and gathering sediment. And then 1 meter apart from that, we plant a nitrogen fixing plant called Flamengia macrophylla. So we got that double hedgerow, and then going up from there, we plant our overstory fruit trees about 2 meters up, and then we just plant lines from that. 3 meters after that is bananas. 3 meters after that is cacao, coconut palm line, and then we have some pollinating plants in between both those lines. And then the final line is understory fruit trees, anything that grows less than 4 meter spacing. And then you hit your next double hedgerow again. So you have these really tight, dense systems. We have tons of biomass for chop and drop. So you can, and that's one of the reasons we plant our fruit trees just 2 meters above our hedgerows, so that you can actually just chop and drop straight onto your fruit trees. And what also happens here, this land is relatively level. It's not super steep at all. But this system works great in steep slopes, because you have your slope, you plant your double hedgerow here, and you plant your tree right above it. So what that does over time is it self-terraces. So nature creates a terrace for you by stopping all that sediment on the vetiver hedgerow and builds it up on the lower side of the fruit trees and on that root system. So it self-terraces for you. And same thing, as you're chopping all this biomass every 6 to 8 weeks, you're piling that on the trees, but you have tons of extra, so you're also piling it right along your hedgerow, which is creating more of a sediment trap. So anyways, that's a quick snapshot on our food forest. We have in the range of about 60 different varieties of fruit. This thing will pump out enough food for 25 families without a problem. So the residents of this will have the opportunity to consume a ton of it. They will also have the opportunity to create micro businesses and bring it to local markets. They'll have the opportunity to donate it, work with the neighbors. Again, going back to that concept of we're setting people up in these regenerative neighborhoods with the idea that neighbors can work together, So maybe one neighbor's super excited about dehydrated bananas with chocolate. And so they go to all the other neighbors and say, hey, I'll buy all your bananas and cacao. And everyone's like, sweet, that sounds awesome. And the other neighbor's like, hey, I really want to start a fresh egg business. And so they collect everybody's extra eggs, whatever. It's just, we're setting people up with the groundwork to create functioning, thriving, sustainable communities. That's the idea with the regenerative neighborhoods. And, I think we all know a lot's changing in the world, and a lot of the systems that are in place currently are not sustainable. They're not regenerative. We have to start looking for new solutions. We have to start creating new solutions. And that's what we're trying to do here. We're just creating a basic model, that we think can work. And we think everywhere on the planet, neighborhoods should look like this, and can be all different shapes and sizes. This can be condominium or high-rise apartment buildings with a 2-acre food forest and sustainable systems in the backyard that everyone shares. I mean, there's so many different models for this, right? This is just one example of one model. And I know all of you out there that follow Green Dreams are amazing people. And I just invite you to keep taking your passions and your ideas and putting them into the world. I came here to Costa Rica 12 years ago, super excited about permaculture. And we've learned a lot over those 12 years. We've made a lot of mistakes, and that's always what happens. And but now we're getting to a point where we're starting to really create some systems that we think are going to make a difference in the world. And yeah, thanks for joining us. And we're gonna go take a quick look at the house, do a little walk around there, and we'll see you over there. So we are sitting poolside here. We believe in sustainability, we believe in permaculture, we believe in regeneration. We also understand that you can have all that and live a luxurious lifestyle. The two can go hand in hand. And so each of our homesteads we trick out with very nice modern eco-tropical homes. You can see right here we got an infinity edge swimming pool. Beautiful, epic ocean view looking out into the Valley of the Horses below. you know, just a pristine place to sit and feel good in the evenings. I'll talk a little bit about the houses we're building. We designed these for passive cooling. And so the idea here is the breezes come from the ocean up through this valley and straight through this property. And so we wanted to capture that. What we have here is the breezes pass over the pool, through the house, and then we have a cupola in the roof that actually has a fan that pulls air up. So it creates this passive cooling effect. And we actually plumb these houses for air conditioning, and none of the current buyers, after being here for weeks at a time, they've all said that there's no need for it at all. You know, on a hot day, it's usually 15 to 20 degrees cooler inside the house than out. So the passive cooling strategy has really worked out well. We're really stoked about that. We've built these houses using local materials in Costa Rica. The houses are cement. I'm a firm believer in building with cement in the tropics. Some people, you know, will say, oh, that's not the most sustainable material choice and this and that. And I agree on some levels. You know, your materials choices down here are building with wood. Native hardwoods, obviously, we don't want to be using anymore. And so most of the farmed woods are not super durable. And so really when looking at sustainability of a structure over long term in the tropics, which is very hard on structures, you got to take that into consideration, right? So cement, you know, withstands the termites, it's fireproof, it's going to last a couple lifetimes. So taking that all into consideration, we feel like it is a very good sustainable material for our environment. And then we couple that with locally harvested wood. So most of all the wood that we've used in the house for the ceiling rafters, for the floors, it's all locally sustainably harvested teak. Obviously, all of the people that are building these houses are local labor force. The cement actually is made in Costa Rica. And so the footprint is relatively low, and the end result is beautiful, you know. So if you want to check this out, we created what we're calling pocket doors, and so we have all of our sliding doors here go into the walls. Basically, we wanted to give that really tropical, Balinese style, you know, tropical living feeling. And so, you know, the way you do that is you try to bring the outside into the inside, and the inside into the outside. And so we have this giant 18-foot door that opens up, and when you're in your living room, you know, you feel like you're at the footstep of the pool. You feel like you're looking right here. You're, you know, basically sitting in this valley below you, and it just really gives you the sense of peace and serenity, and you know, it feels really good to hang out here. And yeah, we're really stoked with how these houses turned out. Everyone that visits seems to love them. We'd love to have you come visit. This is our first model regenerative neighborhood development. We have 5 lots here. We have 1 left. So if you're watching this and you're getting super excited right now, check out the information below, contact us, come visit. We'd love to show you around, show you what we're doing. I know you'll love it here. Thanks to Green Dreams. We've been having a great time hanging out with these guys this week. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share, pound dirt.